Hey guys, Dr. Sean here with The Active Life. We're going to be answering some of your questions from Instagram today. So remember, if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Active Life. And you're probably already following us on Instagram at ActiveLifeRx, but if you're not, go ahead and do that as well. First thing we're going to talk about is Lance KS asks, for low back pain, specifically QL, which is quadratus lumborum, would bulletproof back or hips be more beneficial? I have consistent low back issues that my chiropractor suspects as a result of my hip flexors and QL staying angry. Thanks for any advice. I think it's Lance, it could be Ian now that I'm looking at it though. Either way, the answer to your question is that really depends, right? The way that we wrote these programs is for them to be as specific for you as possible while still being general enough for many people to be able to do them. What we recommend to anybody who's interested in our Bulletproof programs is that you go to our website, which is www.performancecarerx.com, and click join one of the Bulletproof programs. It's just a little join button. When you get there, there are tests that are available for you to try that will let you know which Bulletproof program is most appropriate for you and your set of problems. These are general programs meant to solve specific problems. The most specific that we can get is if you take our tests and do the program that most well correlates with your findings. I hope that answers your question. Mab Bernst asks, dealing with right shoulder, neck, upper back issues, which stems from 28 years of being a dental hygienist, but CrossFit, Olympic lifting, and exacerbates. Which Bulletproof program would I benefit from most? Thanks. Kind of the same question that we just answered before for Ian. Go onto our website, do the tests. I'll give you guys some brief understanding of our Bulletproof programs. Bulletproof Shoulders is our best upper body program to reverse the programming bias that you see in a standard CrossFit gym with all the down pulling and the down pressing. Bulletproof Back is a very core specific program that's meant to be done after workouts are over to create more midline stability, which allows for flexibility to the extremity. Bulletproof Hips is 4 weeks long and it builds equal and opposite force production to the hips. Bulletproof Knees does a lot of work on the tendons that affect the knees. Bulletproof Ankles does a lot of work on increasing ankle flexibility, mobility, and proprioception. Bulletproof Legs is our most invasive, most difficult program, and it is meant to be done in place of any lower body work that you're doing. That being said, go to the website, do the tests, choose the program that works the best for you. T. Brenner asked, what are some exercises to help improve forward head posture / forward shoulder from working a desk job? And what he's talking about is this position, right? The forward head from looking at a computer. We end up being here, curled all over. How do we do something to reverse that? The best answer to that question is an exercise that we like to subscribe to our members or prescribe to our members and athletes called quadruped cervical flexion. We will put that test on video, that exercise on video for you guys to consume today. We don't actually have it on video yet, but once we do, I'll get it on there and we will post it under here as a link. Maybe we can make a post later on pointing you guys to it. Tyler Blue wrote, what a hunk. I think he was referring to Dr. Jeremy in the photo, but I take that as a compliment. Dr. Jeremy is handsome and we appreciate it, Tyler. Hey man, it's John asked, will you guys send me some links to more information on members who aren't competitors but still find it that knee sleeves, belts, lifting shoes are saving them? You guys did a post a few weeks ago that I really loved about it, and I'd like to write something on my own idea and maybe get some people to back off with weight and advanced movements. To start with the basics and reevaluate how their body is moving and the mechanics of movement or improvement. Hey man, as John, what I would tell you is that this is not about articles that we've found or research that we've gone through. This is more about you being able to discuss with your members what their goals are and how that lifting equipment is helping them either get towards their goal or is moving them back away from their goal. What I mean by that is if somebody walks into your gym and their goal is, I just want to move better, look good naked, and be able to play with my kids or do things around the house, daily chores, then the question that you need to ask that person is, how do you think that wearing a knee sleeve when you squat is benefiting you in carryover to going ahead back to your house and vacuuming the living room, or emptying the dishwasher, or working in your garden, or playing with your kids. Start that dialogue. That's the best way for you to go ahead and have this conversation with your athletes. It's not by forcing data and studies that they're not going to relate to down their throat. So again, my advice on that one, ask questions, hear their answers, and respond to them. Hank Rizzotti asked, when snatching, cleaning, or even squatting, I have a very difficult time hitting a, quote, rock bottom position. It's almost as if my body stops me right at parallel. I can never get that stretch reflex out of the bottom. I just finished Bulletproof hips. I'm on my second round of knees and third round of shoulders. I also do all the tips you guys put on the brute strength daily. What he's talking about is we post for brute strength. We make a blog post on them every week with a tip. Lateral step up, squat, press outs, front rack hold, and 10 minutes a day in a squat. What the hell else could it be? A multitude of things, Hank. It could be your perception. It could be that you're dealing with an injury, and my first recommendation to you is go find a trusted health professional local to you and have them take a look at you. Get an evaluation. There's nothing that you have to lose by getting an evaluation. If that's not working, if you're looking for something more advanced, we can always work with you one-on-one. But start there. Start by going to see somebody local to you and make sure there's nothing going on that's wrong. Also, Hank asked if my broccoli and carrots are growing in my garden better after what he told me to do. Not really. I think I killed them all. So, AMB Christine said, if my left rectus femoris is constantly tight and often pulled with a tight left hip flexor, should I be checking out my psoas, both sides? Could the culprit be elsewhere? AMB Christine, that is a question for you and your local doctor to be evaluating. There's too much why that I need to know to give you a really good answer to that one. A lot of that could be your perception, some of that could be reality, but you need to be looking at that with somebody locally who can say, this is what's going on and this is why it's happening. The specific answer to your question is absolutely. The culprit could be elsewhere and probably is elsewhere. So have a look and try to find out what that is. Mark Jansen 14, any tips on working towards one-arm squat snatch? Which Bulletproof program will be most beneficial towards achieving that goal? I think we've already answered the which Bulletproof program should you be on question. Go ahead to the website, take the tests. As far as working towards a one-arm squat snatch, start by working towards a one-arm overhead squat. And the way you start by doing that is a one-arm overhead hold, bottom of a squat position. So if you can hold it over your head, try squatting and holding it over your head there, then work on the eccentric and concentric phase of that movement, then start moving it into something that's more dynamic like a snatch. Nate Shearer, if you have an athlete who is dealing with ulnar nerve entrapment, once the symptoms subside after some therapy and chiropractic care and they want to resume training, are there any exercises they should utilize or avoid to keep from a continued problem? This is a great question, and we are going to be addressing this in an online coaches education program rolling out sometime in October to be executed in November. The idea being that when somebody comes back from an injury, we do have a very specific protocol, and it does not include eliminating exercises that they're physically capable of doing. It includes modifying the intensity with which they do them. So briefly to explain, 50% of the desired effect is what they should be doing their first week back. Once they've executed 50% without pain, we can move them to 60% the following week, 70% the week after that, 75%, 80%, 90%, 95%, 100% as we progress week by week, to the point that we feel like after 2 months, maybe 2.5 months, that person should be back to full exercise if they were clear before they started. Again, be on the lookout. We have a really exciting program coming out for you guys, aimed at coaches, authorized for anybody, for continuing online education that we're going to roll out sometime in October. Last question, the real Brian Huff says, I've noticed in karate, I'm obviously one of the top 5 yellow belts in my dojo. Is it time for me to start individualized performance care or just stick to Bulletproof programs until I advance? P.S. Post more chick photos. Brian, you definitely need individualized programs. Until next time, guys, this is Dr. Sean with The Active Life, bringing you some question and answer. Remember, if you liked it, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Active Life, and follow us on Instagram at ActiveLifeRx. Until next time, let's get moving.